Marketing and selling is essential in your online business. And when you have the right strategies and mindset, you not only can make a lot of money, but you can change a lot of lives. Welcome to the Online Marketing Podcast, where we help course creators, membership owners, and coaches market and sell their offers.
We're your hosts, Paul and Melissa Pruitt. Let's dive in and get started.
Don't list build without setting this up first.
Setting this up? What do we have to set up? What do you mean I can't list build?
You got to get some things in order first before you even start the list building.
No, I was told in these courses and membership, I need to go out and list build right now. I got my aunt, my uncle, my grandparents. They're gonna sign up.
Just put them all on the list. Load it up.
You know what? And you just said the key thing. That is the number one mistake that people make. They say a list. And I think we should jam on this a little bit.
Yeah. As you just said, the number one mistake is having one list for everything. So treating all of the leads that you have as the exact same person with the exact same experience.
Now, I think this is pretty common. We did the same thing. I remember even when we built up that huge email list, it was like, that's exactly what it was. It was one list. We had all kinds of promotions, lead magnets, real world, online, offline, all kinds of things. And everybody was dumped into this one huge list. Like we homogenized everybody. It didn't matter if they were a buyer, if they were not, if they entered a contest or a giveaway or any kind of creative lead magnets or anything. They all, for some reason, we just didn't realize this years ago, that they all got dumped into that big, huge list. Now, what's the problem with doing that, though?
Yeah, when you have everyone on one big list, then you can't really determine what they came in for, what they're interested in. You can't really have an idea of how you can really speak to that individual person. Because again, remember, you're adding them all to one list, but they're all individual people with individual needs, individual wants. And so you want to have different types of lists so that you could speak to your audience differently depending on what they're interested in.
So let's put this in real world context. Let's say that you had a restaurant, right? Now, would you message to people differently to get them in the door, get them to walk into the restaurant itself, And then would you message different? Let's just say that would be display ads or anything out in the real world, to get people at least into the parking lot. And then the people that are actually let's say you're in a retail store or something, and then people are walking by, would you have different messaging there to maybe get people to stop? Maybe they're going to get dog food next door at the pet store or something. But you had this restaurant and it's wouldn't you put different messaging there to get people to walk in? Mm-hmm. And then when people sat down and they actually ate, your current people that are currently eating, wouldn't your waiter, waitress, they would have different messaging, right? But then when the people left, and they were past client, wouldn't that be wouldn't you want to get them to come back, and experience it again? And that's in the real world, right? And what we do though is we treat everybody equally the same, and we stick them all in one list. And that's where a lot of this gets messed up for a lot of people, because you're not messaging to all these people the way that they need to be messaged for. So why don't we go ahead and segment this out? Let's break this down and let's talk about a couple different lists as an example. Now, this isn't the end all be all though, right? So, but at least for the episode today, what is one of the lists that people should have?
Yeah. So one of the main lists that you should have and make sure that you set aside for is the buyers list. These are people that are potential buyers for your programs, your memberships, your courses, all the things that you do.
Yeah. So this buyers list now, depending on how you reference buyers list, this could be people that are potential buyers, because that could be a list itself. Or we could have people that are actually past clients, the actual buyers. So this is really up to you as far as how you label what that buyers list is. And really, if you think about it, so even that differentiation between those two, right? Somebody that potentially is going to buy your thing, that's the person that maybe, again, with your equivalent of your restaurant, walked in the door and wanted to see a menu. Your messaging to that person in the real world would be a little different than somebody that's actually sitting down. And I know for us, the first thing that happens a lot of times is oh, would you like to start off with an appetizer? Oh, would you like to start off with a drink? We were there for the meal, right? So it is different messaging, but we have to do the same online equivalent. Now, with the internet marketing space, though, there are different types of lists. I'm getting the real world analogy here, but what would be a different type of list that somebody might have?
So another type of list would be a wait list. Now, this list is perfect if you have a program that maybe isn't open all year long, but you still want to be gathering people that are interested about it, say, hey, when's that thing opening up again? You're going to put them on the wait list so that they're the first to know when the doors open to your program.
Yeah, so this would be, commonly it's called a closed model, where when you go to that sales page, you don't see that it's openly available where you can purchase this right then and there. It's typically open at a different point in time. So you have that little button. A lot of us have seen that. We've done it. We've gone on and sometimes it could even be real world stuff. It could be like, oh, you want to be notified when like those concert tickets release or something, a new event's coming up in the future. And it's like, it's not quite open to purchase right this second. So if you think about it, there's buyer intent in that list. Like there's people that are like, they're just not like looking for freebies, things like that. These are people who are like, oh, I like your offer, like what you're saying here, but you're not opened right now. So let me leave my information and please make me aware. Like, wouldn't you treat that person differently than like some generic person in the public? I think we would. And they need to be messaged differently. So Melissa, what's another type of list?
So another type of list is your launch list. Now, these are individuals that have raised their hand and have said, yes, please include me in your launch, in your promotion. Let me know what's coming up. Let me know what I need to do, the next step to be informed about it. They're the ones that are part of your process, part of your launch.
Yeah, so a lot of us do launches in the online space. It's a timed promotion. And a wait list is maybe those people could potentially be part of a launch list, if they know that you're coming up soon for a particular promotion. But a lot of times, again, that closed like, 6 months, 7 months later, you might be doing a launch. For a lot of us, we would email our main list and or do advertising, promotions, things in a consolidated period of time saying, hey, we have this thing coming up soon. Do you want to be notified about it? And you're bringing people into that momentum, into that moment. And if you think about it, people that have that type of intent, very different than the other lists that we mentioned already. So what's another list? Let's at least do one more.
Yeah. So another list too is your house list. So this also could be known as your main list. This is just anyone that's come into your world at one point or another. They are on your house list. So they eventually could maybe cross over into your launch list or cross over into your wait list. But they're the ones that just come into your world and they're on your main house list.
Yeah. So we covered this last, but it's normally the thing that everybody just has is, what their main list, their house list. So when you look at these lists differently, you have to keep in mind, like these people are coming in your world in different ways, and there's ways that you have attracted them into your world. Now, of course, there's other segmentations, there's other types of lists that you might have. Now, I think a lot of people would go totally crazy. Like, how do I get people on my list to begin with, Paul? Like, what do I do to get people in? And I think we might have a freebie for them to help them at least attract people onto the list so that they can actually have people to put on these different lists.
Yeah. So we do have our highest converting list builders PDF, which is really going to show you how to create list builders that actually bring the right people into your world. So that's the first step, is bringing the right people into your world. Then once in your world, you can start to do some of the segmentation that we talked about with the different lists. So if you're interested in grabbing that PDF, you want to go to the show notes, you can grab it and get started with building your list the right way with the right people, and then put them in the right list. Don't have them all on that one list like we talked about today.
Yeah, so just to circle back around, so a lot of people make a mistake by having that one list. And it's normally what a lot of people would reference as their main or their house list. But there are people that are in different stages of, the buying phase with you. Some of those people are past clients and customers. You should definitely be communicating with them differently, the past ones. Then you have the people that are current buyers that are like in the thing or experiencing your product or service right now. Then you have those wait list people. Those are the ones that have the intent. We had the launch list. Those are people that are actually coming in and purposely want to go through an experience. A lot of times that could be a video series. It could be a challenge. It could be a webinar series, something along that line. And again, circling back around again, commonly a lot of people just do the house list again, where that's what they're isolated on. But again, Melissa, what is that? You said you had a PDF, that we have a PDF for everybody?
Sure, it's the highest converting list builders PDF. So again, grab that. It's in the show notes, and we can get you started with helping to build your list.
And what else can they do?
So also too, remember to subscribe and share to the show. If you're interested in learning more about online marketing, we're here and we would love for you to subscribe and share with a friend.
So thanks for tuning into the show today. And again, until we talk again, remember, marketing matters.
If you would like to work with us and our team to help you snap up more sales and incredible clients with a stellar marketing strategy that works, go to adaptivemembership.com and sign up for our wait list. We have a limited number of spots in our exclusive program to set you up for success and take action. We're waiting for you at adaptivemembership.com.